Most women leave because they think she fell out of love. But let me give it to you straight. That's not the truth. Love doesn't just vanish overnight. It fades slowly, piece by piece, through every unmet need, every unspoken word, every moment you didn't notice she was slipping away. And then one day you wake up to find her gone. Maybe not physically at first, but emotionally. And you're left stunned, asking yourself, what happened? Everything seemed fine. Here's the hard truth. It wasn't fine. The signs were there, small, subtle, often silent, but they were there. You just didn't see them. You thought her quiet meant peace, when in reality it meant distance. You thought her patience meant contentment, when in reality she was slowly giving up. That's why today we're going deeper. Not into the obvious reasons like arguments or cheating. Those are just surface level. We're going to uncover the hidden deal breakers, the quiet killers of connection that most men overlook until it's too late. And if you stay with me through this video, you'll not only learn why women truly walk away, but you'll also learn how to spot the early warning signs, and more importantly, how to show up differently. Because the truth is, relationships don't have to fall apart, not if you know how to pay attention. So let's get real, let's get honest, and let's start pulling back the curtain on the silent reasons women leave, so you can learn how to build a connection that actually lasts.
Let me tell you something most men never see coming. Relationships don't just run on love alone, they run on energy. Masculine and feminine, like two magnets, north and south. That polarity is what creates attraction, what makes her lean into you instead of pulling away. But here's the quiet tragedy. Over time, many men lose their edge. Maybe at the beginning you were decisive, clear, confident. She could relax because she knew you had direction. But slowly you stop leading. You second-guess everything. You hand decisions over to her, thinking you're being easygoing. And she picks up the slack. She becomes the one holding everything together. Now here's the problem. When that polarity flips, attraction fades. Not because the love is gone, but because the spark that once pulled you together has burned out. Instead of passion, there's only responsibility. Instead of intimacy, just logistics, bills, chores, schedules. Think of it like dancing. If both people try to lead, you trip over each other. If no one leads, you just stand still. But when you step into your role with steadiness and clarity, the dance flows. She doesn't have to fight for control. She can soften, and you both feel that natural rhythm again. So ask yourself, are you showing up with clarity and purpose, or have you slipped into passivity? Because the moment you reclaim that grounded masculine presence, the spark returns. And trust me, she feels it more than you realize.
You don't have to be rich to be attractive. You don't need the mansion, the yacht, or the corner office. What truly draws a woman in is something far deeper, a sense of purpose, a man with direction. A man with fire in his eyes is magnetic. But here's the danger. Over time, many men lose that spark. They stop chasing what excites them. They start drifting through their days, moving from work to couch to bed without any real momentum. And believe me, she feels it. A woman doesn't just notice what you say, she feels the energy you carry. If you've given up on yourself, it's only a matter of time before she feels like she has to give up on the relationship too. Think about it. When was the last time you spoke with passion about something you're working on? When was the last time she saw you light up about a goal, even a small one. It's not about the size of your dreams. It's about the fact that you're moving forward. A man who grows, who strives, who refuses to stagnate, that man keeps the relationship alive. Because if you're standing still, the relationship stands still with you. So let me ask you, are you drifting, waiting for life to happen? Or are you on a path that excites you, that makes you wake up with purpose? Because the truth is, it's not the destination that keeps her drawn to you, it's the pursuit.
You know what hurts more than arguments? Silence. I'm not talking about the quiet comfort of two people who understand each other. I'm talking about that heavy silence when you're there in body, but not in spirit. She's next to you on the couch, maybe scrolling through her phone, maybe just staring at the floor. And you're there too, but your mind is 1,000 miles away. Here's what most men don't realize. When a woman stops sharing, it's not because she's fine. It's because she's tired of not being heard. She has learned that opening up doesn't bring connection anymore, so she closes the door. That's not peace, it's resignation. Emotional neglect isn't loud. It doesn't come with shouting matches or slam doors. It's subtle. It's the kind of loneliness that can creep in even when she's sitting right next to you. And by the time you notice the distance, she may already be gone in her heart. So ask yourself, when was the last time you looked her in the eye and really listened? Not to fix a problem, not to rush her feelings away, but to simply say with your presence, I see you, I'm here. Because love isn't just about paying the bills or protecting the house. For her, love means feeling seen, valued, and emotionally connected. And if that door stays shut for too long, don't be surprised if she eventually walks out of it.
A lot of men think women leave because they're not rich enough. That's not the truth. Most women don't walk away because you don't have millions in the bank. They walk away because they don't feel safe with you. And safety has a lot less to do with money and a lot more to do with responsibility. If you spend recklessly, live paycheck to paycheck without a plan, or make promises about money you never keep, she feels it. It creates a quiet anxiety that never goes away. She wonders, can I count on him? Can I trust that tomorrow won't fall apart? See, financial responsibility isn't about luxury. It's about stability. It's about showing her, I've got us. Even if times get hard, I'm not going to gamble away our future. That kind of steadiness allows her to relax, to trust, to lean into the relationship. Think about it. If every bill is late, if there's always another emergency because of poor choices, how can she ever feel secure? For her, financial chaos isn't just numbers on a page. It feels like emotional chaos. And here's the hard truth. You don't need to be wealthy to earn her respect. You just need to be consistent. Handle money with discipline. Keep your word. Build slowly, steadily, even if it's modest. Because in the end, financial security equals emotional security. And without that, love struggles to survive.
Most relationships don't end with a big fight. They end in small, quiet ways, one missed conversation at a time. And here's where so many men get it wrong. Men usually talk to solve problems. Women, on the other hand, often talk to feel connected. So when she comes to you and shares something from her heart, and your only response is, I'm tired, or I'm fine, day after day, she doesn't just hear your words, she feels the wall you've put up. She starts to believe she's no longer part of your inner world. Think about it. How many times have you shut down because you didn't want to burden her, or because you thought staying quiet would keep the peace?
To her, that silence doesn't feel like peace. It feels like distance. And over time, that distance grows into disconnection. Communication isn't about long speeches or flowery words. It's about presence. It's about putting down the phone, looking her in the eye, and showing her that her words matter. Sometimes it's as simple as saying, "I hear you," or sitting beside her in silence when she needs comfort, not solutions. Because here's the truth. When communication fades, connection fades. And when connection fades, even love begins to suffocate. So ask yourself, are you just talking to respond, or are you listening to understand? That one choice could mean the difference between a relationship that withers and one that grows stronger.
It's not the grand gestures that hold a relationship together. It's the small, everyday things. The lunch she packs, the laundry she folds just the way you like it, the bills she quietly takes care of without you even asking. At the beginning, you notice those things. You smile, you say thank you, maybe you touch her back as she walks by. But over time, they fade into the background. They become routine. And without meaning to, you stop noticing. Here's what happens then. She starts to feel invisible. Not because she stopped caring, but because her effort no longer matters to you. You see, women often carry an enormous amount of emotional labor, managing not just the home, but your moods, your family's well-being, the unspoken weight of keeping life moving smoothly. And when all that goes unseen, day after day, it doesn't just tire her out. It makes her feel like she doesn't matter. Appreciation, my friend, is the oxygen of love. Without it, everything suffocates, slowly, quietly, until one day you wonder where the closeness went. So here's something simple you can do tonight. Notice one thing she does that you usually overlook, and thank her for it. Look her in the eyes when you say it. Let her know you see her. Because sometimes the smallest thank you is the thing that keeps her heart soft, her trust alive, and your love breathing.
When people hear the word cheating, they think only of a physical affair. But trust can break in quieter, smaller ways long before that. It can be the secret text messages you hide, the late-night conversations you don't mention, or the white lies you tell because you think she'll never find out. But here's the truth. Women feel it. They sense when something doesn't line up. And trust doesn't shatter with one big explosion. It erodes slowly, like water leaking through a crack in the foundation. At first, it seems harmless, but over time, it weakens everything, until one day, the whole structure collapses. And once trust is cracked, love has nothing firm to stand on. You can buy gifts, make promises, or say the right words, but if she doesn't feel safe with you, none of that matters. Because trust isn't just about fidelity. It's about making her believe deep down that you've got her back, that she doesn't have to look over her shoulder wondering what else you're hiding. So ask yourself, are you being completely transparent, even about the little things? Because every hidden message, every broken promise, is like pulling a thread from the fabric of your relationship. Do it often enough, and one day there's nothing left to hold on to. If you've damaged trust, rebuilding it takes time, consistency, and honesty over and over again. But without that foundation, love can't survive. It simply can't.
Not every relationship ends in shouting matches or betrayal.
Sometimes the death of love is quiet. It happens when two people stop growing together. No drama, no scandal, just two lives slowly drifting apart. At first, you share everything: dreams, plans, adventures. You're building a life side by side. But over the years, something changes. He goes his way, she goes hers. Not in the sense of cheating, but in the sense of living parallel lives. Same house, same meals, same routine, but no longer the same journey. And here's the truth: love is like a garden. If you don't water it together, it doesn't stay the same. It withers. You can avoid conflict, pay the bills, even raise a family. But if you stop creating new experiences, stop setting new goals as a team, the bond weakens. The relationship becomes less like a partnership and more like two roommates politely sharing space. Ask yourself this: when was the last time you and your partner pursued something new together? A project? A trip? Even a small goal? When was the last time you felt like teammates chasing the same vision instead of individuals living under the same roof? Because here's the hard truth: standing still is not the same as standing strong. If you're not moving forward together, you're drifting apart. And the longer you drift, the harder it is to find your way back. The spark doesn't die in one day. It dies when the journey ends. And the only way to revive it is to start walking together again.
Most men think a breakup happens the moment she packs her bags, slams the door, or says, "I'm done." But the truth is, women often leave long before their feet ever cross the threshold. They leave in their hearts first, and by the time you notice, it's usually too late. The signs are small, almost invisible if you're not paying attention. She starts going to bed earlier, not because she's tired, but because she'd rather avoid the emptiness. She talks less because conversations feel one-sided. The laughter you used to hear fades away. Even the arguments stop, not because everything's fine, but because she no longer believes it's worth the fight. Here's the part that most men miss. Silence is not peace. Silence is preparation. It's her way of quietly detaching, piece by piece, so the final goodbye won't hurt as much. She's cried her tears already, alone, in the bathroom, while you were watching TV or scrolling your phone. By the time you see her distance, she's already miles away in her heart. And that's the most dangerous place a relationship can be, because when a woman stops caring enough to argue, when she stops reaching for connection, she's not staying to heal, she's staying to plan her exit. So don't fool yourself into thinking her quiet means everything is fine. Pay attention, because silence isn't the absence of problems. It's the final warning before she's gone.
Here's the good news: it's not always too late. Most relationships don't collapse because of one dramatic mistake. They unravel slowly through small things done or left undone day after day. And that also means you can rebuild the same way, with small, consistent actions. It starts with awareness. Be brutally honest with yourself. Have you been neglecting her emotionally? Have you lost your sense of direction and purpose? Have you stopped showing gratitude for the little things she does every day? Awareness isn't about shame. It's about seeing clearly where you've fallen asleep at the wheel. From there, it's about action. Simple, steady action. Be present. Put the phone down. Look her in the eye and really listen when she speaks. Show gratitude. Say thank you for the things you normally take for granted. Rediscover your direction. Pick up that passion, that project, that spark that reminds her you're a man moving forward. And above all, rebuild trust with consistency, with transparency, by doing what you say you'll do. Love doesn't run on autopilot. It requires maintenance, like a fire that only stays alive if you keep feeding it. The truth is, most women don't want to leave. They leave because they feel they have no other choice. If she's still there, still trying, still hoping, that's your chance. So don't wait for tomorrow. Reconnection doesn't come from grand gestures. It comes from showing up today, and then tomorrow, and then the day after that. Not perfectly, but consistently. Because love doesn't die overnight, and neither does its revival.
Women rarely leave suddenly. By the time she walks out the door, she's already been gone in her heart for months, sometimes years. And it's not always because of fighting or betrayal or some dramatic blow-up. More often, it's the quiet killers, the loss of connection, the fading of appreciation, the slow drift of two people no longer growing together. The most dangerous of all is silence. Too many men mistake it for peace. But silence, in reality, is the slow goodbye. It's her way of closing the door gently so it won't hurt as much when she finally leaves. And if you wait until that moment to pay attention, it's already too late. But here's the good news. Change is possible. You don't have to be perfect. You don't need to become someone else. What she's longing for isn't wealth or grand gestures. It's your presence, your honesty, your gratitude, your willingness to keep growing, both as a man and as a partner. So, if you see yourself in any of this, don't ignore it. Don't push it off until tomorrow, because tomorrow has a way of slipping into years, and years into regret. Start now. Listen more closely. Appreciate the little things. Be transparent. Reclaim your sense of purpose. These aren't just fixes for her. They're the foundations of a life you'll be proud of. Because the truth is, relationships don't die overnight. And they don't heal overnight either. But with awareness, consistency, and heart, they can be rebuilt. And that's worth fighting for.